Ladies and gentlemen, there is a showdown brewing within the Republican Party between Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. This past week, Mitch McConnell kind of fired a shot across the bow, if you will, to Donald Trump when he said that he doesn't necessarily want to have to get involved with the 2022 midterms, but if there are races out there that he sees kind of this dark horse, unpopular person surging in a GOP primary, he absolutely, without hesitation, would step in to make sure that doesn't happen. He wants to make sure that the entire crop of GOP candidates are people who are actually electable with the general public, not just in a Republican primary. That was pretty much seen as a direct shot at Donald Trump, right? That's what that was, because Donald Trump, on the other hand, is out there warning people that you can't use my image without my permission. You can't say that I've endorsed you unless I have, because he wants people to flock down to Mar-a-Lago, or maybe he's in Bedminster. I don't know where he is at the moment, but either way, go to one of his golf resorts, go there, kneel before him, kiss the ring, tell him how great he was, and then you get his endorsement. And if you're not willing to do that, you do not get the endorsement, but your opponent might. So what this does is it opens the door for the real lunatics, the real crazy Trump followers, to get the endorsement and potentially win a primary, even though they have no chance of winning a general election. And that is what Mitch McConnell fears. He fears Donald Trump's influence over the Republican crop of candidates, and he knows that Republicans, to be honest, in kind of bad shape heading into the midterms. Now, this should be a midterm election where Republicans easily sweep the House and Senate. Historically, that is what tends to happen. And there's a good chance, actually, Republicans may take back the House of Representatives. There's only, a 6-vote, I think, 6-person difference between Democrats and Republicans. Senate's a different story. In the Senate, the Republicans have far more seats to defend than Democrats this year, or next year, excuse me. Republicans also have 5 members retiring out of that crop, so they have 5 new seats that are going to be way more expensive than defending an incumbent, because you got to get people to know the new person, all of that. It's just more expensive running a fresh candidate. And then, of course, because they have more races to defend than Democrats, they have to spend more money, they have to focus it better, they have to make sure they don't lose a single seat. And that's their goal. Their goal is to make sure they don't bleed out. Not necessarily winning back the Senate, but not losing further control of it, because that's a real thing. So after 2022, we could be looking at a Republican House, but a bigger Democratic majority in the Senate. And that's what Mitch McConnell wants to avoid, but it's going to be hard for him to avoid that when you have a bunch of, Marjorie Taylor Greene wannabes or Matt Gaetz wannabes running for Senate seats across the country. And even though they're popular within the Republican Party, these people are absolute, complete turnoffs for anyone with a brain. And that could cost the Republican Party dearly. And that is what Mitch McConnell's so terrified of. But he swears he'll stand up to Trump and make sure that doesn't happen. And I got to tell you, I don't think for a second that he'll actually stand up to Donald Trump. I think Trump has already won, and Trump knows that. Mitch McConnell's just posturing so he doesn't seem as pathetic and weak as he really is.